Here we go. Amazing. Welcome to your Sunday night, a special edition for March, because there is so much happening. There's lots of new faces. There are people who have kind of been building up to this moment, and I just feel like it was such a good opportunity to get everyone on and map out the month and be the leader who is like there to absolutely give you as much time as I can to help you succeed. Okay, so we've still got people jumping on. What a freaking big month it's going to be. It's going to be so good. So I'm not necessarily going to go over any specials tonight. The specials are going to be talked about either tonight at 9:30 on the Australian UK training or our 8:30 training tomorrow night. Okay, we'll get into more details. But I really just wanted to like absolutely congratulate you and just like say how amazing you are for jumping on here and actually wanting to like kind of like, you know, really go in and put your life first and, you know, take a big leap, spend some more time working your business. And I must say, things that I'm going to like suggest doing are things that when I came into the business, I just went all in. And it took a little bit more time, but if I have to look back, it was like a fraction of being busier. And I let the whole household know what I was doing. And it's honestly paid off long term because now I can obviously head to earnings.arbonne.com. Got to put that in there. But I wake up and like, create my days. And I'm very purposeful with what I do with my days when I have kids and when they're at daycare. But, you know, it's been able to have those, honestly, it's actually the smaller things in life that make you happy, like not setting an alarm or having slower mornings getting the kids to school, and even like taking their biking to daycare, which takes me an hour return some days to do a 300-meter round trip, like not even joking. It is painfully slow, but it's so exciting to watch your kids pukeko, or they fall off the bike, or they go back and forth and on the road and back and forth and like all the stuff. And then these flowers they pick. And it's like those little moments that are like so precious to your kids that actually like create their childhood. So obviously I'm a mum and it's like they're so important and they're a massive why. And they were my massive like drive to build this business. And so you guys really need to know why you're doing this business, because there are going to be times where this business will test you, and there are going to be times where you don't want to do it, but you really have to think like, okay, if I just get my head down, bum up, get stuck into it for a short amount of time, like condensed work for a shorter period of time to really build it, create momentum, create those conversations that are constantly rolling over, you're going to create just such amazing lifestyles. The power to DM. Okay, so if you guys aren't aware, it's 3,500 success line QV, which means it's you and anyone in your downline. Any of the QV from any one of you and your downline will count towards this to promote up. And one thing I really want to just like make clear is that they have just announced a new bonus and they've just announced a retiring of another bonus. But the one that's retiring, you still have this month to be able to be eligible for it, okay? And this like lights me up because this here wasn't there when I started. And it's been on the table for about a year. Glenna can tell you a little bit more about it later on. Glenna and Haley have jumped into here. So they are an area and a district, but they've like got all the bonuses. They've come in running with it. So they do have tips to help you guys as well. And they've got their own consultants in this team in the group chat. But what I'm saying is that like when you hit DM this month, you unlock that $3,750 extra just for doing the bare minimum for district manager, okay? So maintenance for district manager, which is level 1, which you're all going to be promoting to this month, maintenance is 2,500, okay? So it's less than what you need to do this month. And when you hit this for 6 months in a row, you get the total of 3,750 by the end of that 6 months. But the halfway mark, when you hit month 1, month 2, month 3, 2,500, 2,500, 2,500, you get $1,500 paid out by the end of that 3 month as well. Okay. And so this is the last opportunity to be able to have that extra for just doing what you're going to be doing anyway. Okay. So it's time to get busy for 1 month. It's not a long time. So tell your partner, tell your husband, tell whoever that you're going to go head down, bum up into action. I've already told my husband that he might not see me this month. No, I will. But just the fact that I can like spend more time. And I just remember like when I was in your position, I did the same thing. I had little kids. Like when I started this business and I was running for DM, I had a 4-month-old at home. And then when I hit it, I actually fell pregnant with my second. And then when I ran for area, that was my first, the 3 months I ran for area, I was actually in my first trimester of my second pregnancy. Okay, so I could have had all the excuses, but I was like, I'm not going back to my personal training because I loved it, but it was not going to work for my lifestyle. So think about what it is that when you're head down, bum up in action, and all you want to go back is watch your Netflix or watch Married at First Sight. Like, honestly, put it on at 1 month or 3 days in, like just put it on the back burner. I promise you'll feel so amazing for it. Also, if you haven't got a pad and pen or whatever, however you take notes, like maybe you want to take some notes, just make sure you've got that ready. Okay, and all the VPs in Arbonne, they've literally just done more. They're no different to anyone starting the business. They've just done more. Okay, so they've just done more like messages, they've done more follow-ups, they've done more showing up on social media, they've done more events, whatever they do with their business. Okay. All right. Worst case scenario, if you don't hit district manager this month, okay? This is worst case. You've built a bigger customer base. You've probably attracted more consultants. If not, you've got the skill of talking to more people, and you've created the habits you need to build a sustainable long-term business. Okay. You've also, worst case scenario, you've also built up momentum to carry you through to either promote next month or the month after. Okay, these are like worst case scenario here. Like there's nothing to lose going for this. And if you feel like that 3,500 is such a big goal, I totally get it. I felt like that when I ran for area. I personally, I was like, I can do district. In my head, I was like, cool, all I have to do is 2,500 a month. But when I ran for area, I remember thinking, oh, 10,000, I can't do that. Like that is like, I know you just have to switch your mindset up to be thinking, wow, actually, you know what? If I can help, and notice I say help, like if I can help another 3 people do 2,500 and I do 2,500, I'm an area manager. Okay. All right. So that's like, you just have to break it down so your brain knows it's simple. All right. Best case scenario. By the end of this month, you're now a new district manager, and we're all popping champagne for you guys because I get so freaking excited when you guys promote. You now get paid a higher percentage of overrides from your team. Okay, so you get basically a pay rise. You now have access, which is the last time for that $3,750. By the way, that's New Zealand. So if you've got Australians, I think it's 3,500 Australian. And that retires after this month, okay? So that's your last chance to have access for that. And also that's on top of the new bonus that's being released for Replenish Me, which we'll talk about more either at 9:30 or tomorrow night. I think we're doing both, to be honest. And you've built up momentum to carry you through to either keep building for next month to get your DM bonus, which is an extra $300 on top of everything else. Okay, so I'm going to get into some like tips for getting into traction. And I also want to say, like, if you have questions, like, actually, I can't even see the chat box. Hold on, wait, let me just put it up. There we go. Now I can see the chat box. If you guys say something, I can look at it. Because I want to also make this, like, if you have questions, let me know, because this isn't a one size fit all. And what I haven't done tonight, I haven't told you need to turn up on your stories 5 times a day, or I haven't told you need to like post this, because we all do business differently and we all have different lives, but I can give you like tips about, you know, building up traction, Okay, so like, for example, like every second day you can jump on and talk about why you've chosen to start this business. And I think it's very powerful because remember, all of us, we're selling the same products. We've got the same products in our hands, but they're going to be buying you. Okay, they're going to be buying your journey. They're going to be buying into your goals. They're going to be buying into supporting local. They're going to be buying into being a stay-at-home mum. They're going to be buying into whatever your goals are. Okay, so, and then also when you're on social media, like a big thing is don't just put up Arbonne. Okay, it's really good to have Arbonne in there. Like I do it all the time. If you watch my stories, I've always got something about Arbonne up, but it's not like my only Arbonne on my Instagram. Okay. And it was something weird, like you need to find other parts of your day. And sometimes it's the weirdest thing. And I was just talking to Glenna before this about something else. And I put something up in my story this morning. Like it's been torrential rain here in Hamilton, like literally torrential. You can't even see through the window wipers. My kids go crazy by 7:30, killing each other, like biting, like hitting. It's honestly horrendous. So I put them in the car. We're driving around construction sites. That was our Sunday morning. And so I put something like that on my Instagram. And honestly, there were like 7 mums messaged me back saying, because I think I said, boy mums, you'll relate. I can't remember what I said, but there were these other mums who said, not just boy mums, I got my kid in the car too, trying to get them out of the house. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even like plan to put this up. I didn't even think about anything about it. I just put it up saying we're watching Diggers from the car. And it got a lot of traction. And it's stuff like that. So stuff like that that's in your life that you do every day that might just be boring to you can be quite interesting or really relatable to other people. And it's those conversations that you build relationships with. And then the more you get to know those people you're connecting with, the more open they are to like either them asking, or if you ask them, sorry, I'll finish the first one. They'll be more open to asking you about your business, your product, how you can help them. Or if you turn around after like maybe you've been kind of back and forth for a couple of weeks and you'd be like, hey, like, I'm so rude, I haven't even mentioned this to you, but I've actually got this business that I work alongside my kids. And I don't know where you're at in life, but would you be interested in learning more about, would you be interested in about learning more? Oh my God, I'm so tongue-tied tonight. Would you be interested in learning more? Oh my God, learning about how to earn more. There we go, I got it, far out. Learning how to earn more around your kids. Okay, we got there, guys. Here we go. Look, I still make mistakes. But stuff like that. And they're probably going to be more open to it because you've been back and forth. You haven't just smashed Arbonne into their face straight away. Okay, and so that's where this business is. It's like not a get rich quick. You can definitely make a lot of money along the way. But the reality of this business is it's like a 2 to 5 year plan to really make good money. And if I'm really honest with my journey, it took me about 5 months to make a decent income to kind of like really like drop down my personal training. And I actually supplemented that with my second maternity leave. And then while I was on my second maternity leave, I built my Arbonne up to then be able to just carry on with this and not have to use that maternity leave. If that makes sense. So that's how I built mine, because it did have a drop in the middle there. But there was 2 years exactly, or 2 years, 2 months that we hit region. And regions when it really does free you up. So it is kind of like they say, go to earnings.com to see the average time. And I'm like, I'm so average. Like I'm so average. Yeah. Where am I? Got some notes in the background. It's very important to show up daily. Honestly, I definitely see that making a difference to people. When you show up daily, they're going to be constantly, what is she doing? What is this business? Where's her confidence come from? Look at her skin changing. Oh my gosh, she's lost weight. You know, and the way she speaks. You know, all the stuff. A transformation isn't just weight loss. Okay. All right, next part. I've put a challenge out in the group chat. Go for no. Okay. Go for no. Look, and I put it in the, oh my God. I think I put it in the Power to Dean chat. Okay. Basically, it's like 3 columns. It is so simple. First column is write the date, 3rd of March. How many no's did you get? And how many yeses did you get? Okay. And you want the no's to outweigh the yeses, which sounds so weird, but it's how this business works. And if I'm looking at this if I'm looking at my girls on here who I've personally sponsored, Glenna, I asked a few times. Paris, I've asked a few times. Shalini actually came to me. Who else is on here? Bron, I've asked a few times. And Rebecca, she actually came to me. The other girls are enrolled by other people. But just goes to show that you follow up people in different phases of their life. And I was a product user before the business for a whole year because I wasn't open to it until I had kids. So it's so true. So the Go for No, there's actually a book on this, okay? And I highly recommended getting it. Just Google it, Go for No. I'm sure that's the name. Basically what it means is that like if you actually are going to look for the no, you're never worried about being rejected. Okay. And because you're going for so many no's, there'll be yeses along the way, by the way. But because you're going for so many no's, you're recrafting your script and you're recrafting your messaging, you're learning what works, you're learning what doesn't, you're learning what, like, were you too blunt? Did you say too much? Like I used to like write essays when I invited people to look at the business. Like it's shocking. I really need to show you how bad I really was. And now you just heard me blurt it out, but tongue tied before. You can kind of like, I can just get it off the tongue because I've done so many. And I have actually counted, I've asked 34 people this year to look at the business. So between January and February, and I've enrolled I think I've enrolled 4 girls. There's Bronwyn, there's Paris, there's Rebecca, and then there's Abby, who's not on tonight. So even me, I'm getting all this rejection. That's 29 people who have said no, not right now, or haven't quite been able to like actually talk to them because they're busy. A lot of the people are just busy, to be honest. So literally Go for No. Okay, it's in the chat, and the thing about this is where I've put it in the chat too. I should probably share my screen very soon. But when you go for no, and say if they say no, everyone in this chat are going to do 2 messenger parties this month. Okay, and I can show you how to do it. I'm literally going to do the templates for you. Honestly, you literally just have to invite to it, and I'll just show you how to do it. You don't have to make up any of the posters. You don't have to do anything. Don't have to do any of the pricing. I'm literally going to like give it to you on a platter. You just have to, invite to it. But it's also good because these templates you can then use for going forward as well. Okay. So if they say no, that's okay. I totally get it. Would you be interested in joining my sale chat? And we're going to do one mid-month and we're going to do the end of the month. Okay. Would you be interested in joining my sale chat middle of the month? And they might say yes, they might say no. And then if they say yes, they're in there, and like you've got a group of people that who have said no, and you can look back on, and it's kind of like a little hub. Okay. Doesn't mean you need to bombard them with Arbonne, but just kind of like, it's really good to track who you've talked to. And then if they say no to that one, I would follow up. I'm going to talk about this soon, but I would follow up like a week out or the end of the month, or like a couple of days out from the next sale, and just say, hey, like I know you said no for the last sale, but I'm actually running another one because it was really successful. Would you be interested in joining the next one? And you can just say things like there were like protein on sale that everyone just loved and I didn't expect, or this is like my second sale, and you can literally tell them why you're doing it too. Like I'm a couple months in, or my first month in, I'm promoted to the first level. Would love to help you with your health and like know that you're supporting someone along the way. People tell me that when I'm supporting someone, I actually like want to do it. Like I actually want to know that I'm supporting someone with my like spending rather than like a big chain. Okay, I'll always shop with someone I know than a big chain store. Okay. Are we following? Any questions so far? You feel free to.
I have a question.
Yes, go for it.
So is there going to be 2 sales this month, or do we make the sales?
So
how does it work?
2 sales. So if we open up, I'll put it into Vibe Nation. Have I got it in Vibe Nation now? Oh, I don't know. Okay, anyway, I have put it in Vibe Nation. Let me just scroll up. What's on in March? Let me see. I'm going to repost it here. If you guys all go into Vibe Nation, if we open this up on your phone, just because I can't share, I'm just going to be too slow. If you go to what's on in March, like put this in your calendar to kind of have a look on. And I've written there like Mondays, 8 o'clock. Is it blurry? Is it just my phone? Oh, whatever. If it's blurry, I'm sorry. Mondays, 8 o'clock. We're going to do a check-in with me. Okay. So 8 o'clock every Monday, you can come in if you need to ask questions. Check in with me. 8:30 to 9, we're going to do blitzing, which is like, jump on with me. I can help you send messages out. It's really good. I remember doing this with my upline. It was really good for them to come in and be like, you need to send this message, or this is how you talk to that person. Because that was the hardest thing when I started. I was like, how the hell do I talk to these people? And now it's like second nature. And then 9 o'clock on a Monday is team training. So if you just go across the week, you can see there's different blitzes. There's one with Haley on a Tuesday, Thursday. But anyway, somewhere on there, I think it's Thursdays. If you look at the Thursday, it's 14th. So that's Thursday the 14th is messenger party number 1. And then if you scroll across to Saturday, I put 16th or 17th for final orders, but I would do, I know it's a Saturday, but like it's a Saturday, we'll just head down, bum up. Who cares? It's a Saturday. You're going to work. Anyway, the 16th and 17th would be the final orders. And I would say do the 16th because I'll run the first sale with like little bundles that to do with that promo with the fizz ends on the 16th. Okay. So if that makes sense. And then the last sale will be the end of the month. And that's like when it'll blow up. That will be when you're hitting your goals. That will be when you're like, you're just so excited because you've spent 3 weeks talking to so many people throughout the whole month. And you're like, I've got this. And then literally it's like, that's when you do the massive follow-up. You're going to spend like the last week of the month doing all these follow-ups to anyone you've messaged. And if you can't remember, I will just, when I started, I'll just scroll down my messenger and be like, oh, that's right, I talked to that person. And you scroll back, that's right, I talked to that person. And I'll message them saying, look, I know you said no to the first messenger party and no to looking at business, but I've just run a messenger party a couple of weeks ago and it was so good. There were so many people enjoying these really clean products. I'd love if you just wanted to jump in and have a look. And I'm also really close to, you can say stuff like that. Like I'm really close to like getting the first promotion in my new business. I'm so excited about it. And that's where jumping on these blitz sessions with me, I can help word these. Okay. Because believe me, I talk to a lot of people. So yeah, look that on. And does that answer your question, Michelle?
Glenna's message in the chat kind of does. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can do your own and I'll make templates up as well. So if you want to go through them, be like, actually, no, I want to run something else that's more specific to me. You know, so say if like I sell a lot of like nutrition, but you might be massive on skincare with your, like I'll put it all up. But if you want something more in there, you can definitely make it up. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So we just give them our discount, is that?
No, I'll do it PC pricing because you want to get paid as well.
Yeah.
Up to you. So if you guys don't know, if you're still new here, we do get host perks discounts, okay? So host perks you can give out to your customer and they'll get our pricing. We get the QV towards your goal, but we lose the commission, okay? So you've got to weigh up whether you want, like why you're doing this business. If you're doing it for like, you actually need the extra money right now, like I wouldn't use them. But if you're in here for the long run, and I use these like this, I did a lot of host perks to get some people over the line, and they have turned into long-term customers. But you've also got to be quite like professional, and also like when that, because sometimes they'll ask for it again and then they expect it. So that's where you've actually got to
for
like
2 seconds.
yeah.
One of the biggest things I've learnt with messenger parties is it's all in the wording. So like if you put it out there that you're doing a messenger party, it's really exciting, you got to pump it up, you got to bring the energy to it. You could have every single thing in there at PC pricing, but what you can do is make different bundles, so things people might not necessarily pair together, or like you always have your basics, like if your market's Green Gut Glow or skincare, you have your basic bundles of that, but then you might throw in like a random bundle that would be like, say, the Green Gut Glow without the greens. So like your gut health, skin elixir, and a fizz combo as like some different combo. So they get to look at different products without scrolling through a website. And you bundle it together and you make it sound really exciting because they get that free gift, they get that 20% off. Or like if it's the 30 days bundle, for example, they get X amount off. Sometimes it's 50% or whatever it is off. And you literally, it's all in the wording. It's all in how you pump it up. I was the same as Em when I jumped on. I did do a few host perks vouchers here and there, but I'd do like a host perk voucher maybe for like a 30 days or the Green Gut Glow just to get them over that line. And then the next time it would be in the wording that, hey, remember you are getting the 20% off and the free gift. So yeah, you just got to have that excitement and people will be like, oh, what is this? That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Shalini, did you have something to say or did you put your hand up? You just have
Sorry. Yeah, I actually have a question to ask Glenna because you mentioned when you do the product bundles where instead of saying Green Gut Glow, when you're doing the gut health, the skin elixir and something like a face product, how do you do the pricing for that bundle?
So I put all 3 products into a cart
Mhm.
and make it PC price and go to send it out as a recommended cart. And that's the pricing of it. So the PC pricing of all 3 in a cart together
Okay.
is the pricing.
right.
So it will be
Pricing.
slightly more expensive than if they bought just the Green Gut Glow because
Mm.
the Green Gut Glow as a bundle is cheaper than buying all 3 products.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't do all 3 products in the Green
Mm.
Gut Glow separately. But if you're removing the greens from it, you do have to do it individually, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, cool. I have another question. This one's for Emily. Just tracking to the 3,500 SLQV to promote to DM. You mentioned we get a chance to qualify for the $3,750 bonus. How does that happen for us who are already not in qualification?
So
for DM.
basically, when you promote to district manager, you then have that district manager sustainability award, which is retiring. So that's there. It's been available since January last year, and it's now retiring. So basically, like unless you're on qualification this month when you promote to DM, it's the only chance to be able to get that because it does that make sense?
So you all need to already be in qualification in order to receive
You
it.
could have
No,
done
they don't.
like, if you did, say for example, if you're new and you did nothing last month, or maybe you didn't hit qual last month, you can still do district
Yeah,
manager.
this month and so okay.
And that's actually another thing I should say is if you were in qual last month, that QV won't count towards a 3,500 this month. Okay, but yeah, so we'll just leave that there. It will count. So for example, Paris, I know you got into qual last month.
Mhm.
So that QV won't count towards this month, Paris. But let's say, for example's sake, you got 3,000 this month. Next month you can still use February, March, and April to qualify. But we'll go over that closer because you're going to promote this month. Okay. I've literally got it on my board that everyone's promoting. It's like going to be great. Okay, I'm going to carry on. I'm just going to mute you, Shalini, just so it's good for everyone else. Okay, so this is the follow-up method I use, and sometimes I don't even know I'm using it, but it so is what I do. Okay, I call it either the 333 or the 222. Really easy to remember. And I think the 222 will be more effective this month because it's kind of like a shorter time to promote. So I'll ask someone if they want to take a look at the business or products. I'll either like ask them directly online, and this could either be just like directly or, you know, maybe I've been building up a relationship over a little bit of time. And then, or it could be, hey, I can invite to the Business and Bubbles brunch I'm doing, Business and Bubbles night I'm doing in a couple of weeks, or it could be to the messenger party, okay? If they don't respond, remember they're just busy, okay? So then I'll go and comment on something on Instagram, I reply to their story, And generally I don't even say anything about Arbonne, but generally prompts them to get back to me. And I've had this done to me before where I don't know if they, like, I don't know, I just remember like that person messaged me, I forgot to message back. I just get busy with kids, okay? So that's like how I'd then like maybe prompt them to message me back without actually asking them. And then if they haven't replied after that, 2 days later, so you've sent the message, then 2 days later, you'll actually message and say, hey, like, just checking in. I know I get busy with the kids and, you know, they keep me on my toes and sometimes I read a message and forget to reply. Just checking if you got my invite to my event or whatever it is. And then generally they will reply. And if they don't, then kind of just leave it and just maybe like send some value their way, like send them a podcast or go live or comment back on some Instagram or something like that. And, you know, like show that you really do care. And then 2 weeks later, so you've sent the message, 2 days later, you follow up. If they still haven't replied after those 2, you're sending value. And then 2 weeks later, you want to be saying, hey, just checking, like just actually go message and just say, hey, like just checking if you're still busy. Like I know I've seen it. I know I get busy. Would you be keen to hear more about the business? Like probably don't say it like that, but yeah, I'll send wording. That's quite blunt to say it like that. And then if you still get no response after these, I would leave it for a couple months. Okay, so it's like 2 months, for example. Okay, so if they are literally, if they're just not replying after that, then like just don't push it. Like they're busy, they probably don't care. Like they're probably not in a space, a headspace to even like look at something like that, which is cool. You loop back, and then you just, and that's where this business is. You've got to be good at follow-ups as well, like really looping back with people. Okay. Okay, so I've put this all in the chat, the breakdown of the month, but if you want to write it down on paper, you can. So the break, you want, like, this is the QV tracker. Okay, so QV, I've always said QV is energy. You show up high energy, you attract people into your life. And if they order, when they order, that's QV, okay? So everyone's goal on this team is 3,500 success line QV this month, okay? Halfway through the month, which give or take days, it's either the 14th, 15th, or 16th, around that time, you want to be a third of your goal. You don't want to be halfway, you want to be a third, okay? Don't ask how it works, it just works. So that's 1166. Okay, so write that down. Halfway through the month, you want to be 1166 success line QV. Okay. 1 week out, you want to be around halfway to your goal. Okay, so halfway to your goal is 1750. And then the last week, especially the last day, is literally when the magic happens. And this is why the end of month is so special and exciting. And I don't know if you saw me text, but the end of month is Easter Sunday this year. And I'm actually traveling back. So Easter Sunday, I'm traveling back from Auckland in the car. I've told Luke I'm passenger seat and not to talk to me. No, I'm just joking, but he knows. Like Luke, I've done so many end of months now that he just knows it's the end of the month. He's watching Netflix by himself. Like he's not hanging out with me. I'm on the Zoom with my girls. Like he just knows. And so just tell, if you've got like 3.5 weeks to tell your family that you're busy that night and you're going to be up late and you're going to be hitting DM, okay? And so what I mean by this last week is like really special because you've spent all of March doing the work, okay? So the end of month, if you're really going for a goal, it shouldn't be a real big like scramble at the end. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of follow-up, but it's not going to be like scrambling, asking new people, you know, it's going to be like following up and from the connections you've already made. And if you're just like not new this month, like everyone who's not new to this month, you literally can be following up with anyone you've talked to up till now. Okay. Not just like this month. It could be anyone you've talked to. So like if you've been here for a little month, like you really have you've got this in the bag. You definitely have got this. Okay. Also with those dates and time frames, if you're off a little bit, it's okay. Okay. It's okay. I've seen it. People been off and they still hit goals. Okay. Now, I haven't got much more to talk about. I've got a couple more things. Events on for March. So if you go back to that little poster I sent, like booking yourself out. I'll be running a weekly webinar. I thought it's really like cool to say webinar. It's a fun way of saying Discover Arbonne. And I've made a really fun poster for it as well, like a real like stylish looking like, oh, what are they doing poster. So I'll pop it in. Maybe Glenna, you can pop it in if you can figure it out. I've already made it. And this is something every Wednesday night you can invite people to. Okay. So if you're like when we're on our blitz, would you check the times on the poster? I can be helping you craft those messages and send them to people coming on the weekly webinar. And it's 15 minutes. I've called it 9K in 9 months. They can make more than that if they want to. I've kind of literally written the minimum of what it's like to promote to area in 9 months. And yeah, I've just broken it down, but I'll be talking about the business too. And this is where you can invite them to the, like all these people, there's so many things to invite to. Then people who jump on the webinar, you then follow up with them and say, hey, like what resonated with you? And whether it's the business or the product, you then know where to steer the conversation. Okay, so what I did wrong at the start, I was like, how did you like the webinar? They're like, good. I'm like, where do I put the conversation? Where does the conversation go from there? Okay, you're like, you kind of bite yourself or you pick yourself in the bum for that. So but when you say like what resonated with you or what stood out for you, like, yeah, I really love the fact I could make money around my kids. And that's where you steer the conversation down the business lane, okay? And then if you're getting stuck, you pop them with a three-way chat with me, or you get them on a call with me. Because I can answer, when you're new, you don't know everything, and you need to accept that. Like, and also like 2.5 years in, I'm still learning stuff. You need to accept that you have to have help from the upline, and like, it's actually okay to have like me helping. Because that's how you learn, and you actually learn faster by people who've already done it. Okay, so that's where I can help out. And let's just say, for argument's sake, they don't join the business. You can just say like, that is so fine. Like, would you be open to joining my sales chat? And you add them into a sales chat 1 or 2, depending where they land in the month. Okay, and it's really cool to be. And that's when I say like with these messenger parties are going to be they're going to be off the chart by the end of the month. Like so much is going to come through to your business, and you guys are all like literally district managers. Well, 11 people on the call, minus Glenna and I, who are already above that. 9 new district managers by the end of the month. It's exciting. And what else did I have on here? Oh, the messenger parties. To be honest, I'll probably run like a mini training on this coming up to it. So it's still a couple of weeks away for our next one, because I know there'll be more questions on that. But just know, put it in your diary for the 14th and the 28th to run it. And you also want to put in your diary for the 16th and the 31st to close them out. Okay. Michelle, I love the little hand.
Are we creating our own group chats for the messenger party, or will we all be in the same group chat?
That's a really good question. I would suggest doing your own. So what I could do is, so why I suggest doing your own is that like it's got your own personal touch to it, and you've got your own, the people you're adding to it, so you can kind of like joke around with them. I've done big ones before and they definitely work. Like we did a really big one when we were closing RVP last year, and it was actually a lot of fun, and the whole team went in on it. We could even do that. What are your thoughts? Maybe we could do that for the end of the month.
I was part of that chat, I think, before I was a consultant. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing with that, there were like so many people in it. That was probably a lot as well. But also they knew there was like a really big thing. So I could just do your own thing because it's got your own people. I can still jump in and help. It's actually really good. And like I said, we'll do a proper training on this because it's like a whole other subject. But it's good to have like a hype person in there. So when I say that, like add me in or add Glenna in or add Hayley in, who have done a lot of parties before. And when we do messenger parties, we do fun games and like little quizzes in there. And it's honestly, it's really hard when you have a sale that's like got crickets and there's no one joining in. And I can tell you, you won't have crickets and it won't be boring if you really send the fun in the messaging, if you get so excited about it and you're like, you just have the energy behind the messaging. But if you say, for argument's sake, it is maybe a bit quiet, then that's where I come in, or that's where Glenna comes in, or that's where Haley comes in, or does that make sense? Does anyone else have any questions about anything tonight? Yes, Paris.
So when we invite people to the messenger parties, like what do I say to them if they ask what it is? Like, is it just a sale or?
You can say it's like a business launch for you. Just say, like, I've started a new business and I really just wanted to get people knowing more about these products. And so you can just say, like, you know, I've put together my favorite bundles of the products I love, or, you know, some bundles that I think you'll really like. Yeah. I've also done some stuff where, like, when you added them into the chat, you can then, like, the day before, text and say, hey, I'm looking forward to the sale, looking forward for you to be a part of the sale tomorrow. Was there anything, have you had a look online, or was there anything that you're after? You know, are you after any skincare or anything? And then they might say, yeah, I've been looking at the Green Gut Glow, or I've been looking at the mascara. And honestly, make sure you have those products in the sale, because they're already looking at them. Okay. And
We
then
still have the board that has the messenger party.
I was looking at it the other day. I have to ask Kaylee where it's gone. So maybe she's had it on hers, but I can always just, like, download those off the chat and
Because I
then,
know I have one somewhere that's old as, so even if you wanted to use that for like a look through, I can.
yeah, I've got one too as well, and we can just send it in so you can have a little look. But we're gonna do, how are we doing Monday let's have a look at it. Monday the 11th, we can do a training for it. We'll do it at like 8 o'clock. Oh. Yeah, we'll do it at 8 o'clock, because then at 8:30 we can do our blitzing and send messages. And then 9 o'clock's the other training. I'll do that. Yes, Bronwyn. Oh, you've done it yourself, Ego.
It is on the boards app. If you go on to the Vibe Nation
Yeah.
and then discover Arbonne,
Oh, yes,
and then it's product messenger sale. There's so much stuff there.
that's right, it is in there. I knew it was in there somewhere.
Yeah. Done.
Discover Arbonne, it's got the world one. I'll just share that right now to Vibe Nation.
Cool.
Thank you. I have done, like, I did put a link of a video of a training in there today, and it was pretty much over this section of the boards app. So if you want to go through it, you can. Yeah. Honestly, guys, get excited. It's like, it's just so exciting. We've got like a little purpose, and you know, you've got a whole army of women who are running for it as well. Like, you're not alone. You've got everyone, and it's really cool. So if you're not in the Powder DM chat, make sure you are. Like, just message me or Glenna, or your upline. Yeah. Yes, Glenna.
I just wanted to quickly, in like less than 5 seconds, touch on me when I ran for DM, and because I was one of the first, I think, in our team to get the DM sustainability bonus too. So you also will get awarded in Gold Coast for achieving these sort of things as well. So it's definitely something cool to aim for. For me, I don't know if you saw in the comments before, but I literally used my second part of the bonus to get me to Gold Coast and enjoy myself and have an absolute blast. So think of something, and I put a song that's in the vibration of money in Vibe Nation. Play that song and sing it out loud every day, and it will attract money to you. And it's so funny because I started playing that song, and that's when I hit DM, and then I hit my DM sustainability bonus, and then I had all these things happening at once. So play it out loud, sing it out loud, and make sure you wake up every morning and say to yourself in front of the mirror that your name is and you are district manager of Arbonne, because I did that every single day from the minute I started as an IC, and I hit DM, and now I'm saying I'm Glenna McGugan, RVP of Arbonne, even though I'm only an area, because you always want to aim for that next level. And the more you say things out loud, the more it comes to you. And I'm really about that, attracting the energy and bringing in those vibes. Used to think it was a load of bull crap, but here we are today. So you feel stupid when you first start, But honestly, the more you do it, the better you feel about it. And then you'll start introducing yourself as that person and it attracts it to you. So if you're journaling, if you're doing anything, write it down. Write Paris, district manager, Shalini, district manager. Tell everyone you talk to that you're heading to that level, that you are that person. I used to jump on Zooms and I would be like, hi, I'm Glenn McGugan, district manager of Arbonne. I wasn't district manager of Arbonne, but I would say that because it was coming to me. And the more I spoke it, the more it came. So add those to your affirmations. Like, people think affirmations aren't much and you feel like an idiot when you start. But the more you say it, the more it's going to come to you. And break it down every day. Like, you can be like, so Monday, you can be like, I'm district manager, because you're going to say that every day. But I'm going to attract X amount of people today, or I'm going to attract X amount of dollars this month, or put in as much detail as you can when you're writing affirmations out and things out like this. Do that. But honestly, write down as well what you're going to spend that money on. What you're going to spend your district manager bonus every month on. What are you going to spend it on? Write it down, speak it out loud, and that will be what attracts you to it. Anyway, that's enough from me.
I love that. Is Bronwyn clapping or is she raising her hand?
I'm raising my hand too, getting
Oh, cool.
excited.
Perfect.
I just put in the chat, read Rhonda, is it Burns' book, The Secret? And
Yeah.
she's also got one, I think, The Secret to Money as well, which is quite good. Talking about affirmations, I went to Kmart and I brought some chalk markers, and in my bathroom mirror, I write everything on my bathroom mirror and change it week to week. It's great.
Can you send those in the chat? Because that stuff, like, I love seeing
Yeah.
that stuff.
I bought a dodgy lipstick when I started, and I wrote with a dodgy lipstick on my mirror. Like, honestly. And another really good thing is get a photo of yourself now and a photo of you as a young one, and put that by your mirror, and you speak to yourself as that girl, that child, and you speak to yourself as today, and you tell her where you're going to be by the end of this month. You tell her where you're going to be by the end of this year. Honestly, you will feel some sort of emotion from it. You will feel a vibe from it. It's the best thing you can do. Speak to yourself every single day to your future as your future self.
Yeah, it's so good. And last thing as well, to sit in that, is I still do this all the time. I set goals. When you set a goal and you reach it, you end up naturally want to do more. You end up naturally want more. And so for me right now, my biggest goal is getting my family to Vietnam. And that's, if you're new here, you get either, depending on the year, there's 1 or 2 trips that you can earn as an incentive to this business. And I love holidays and I love time with my family. And so I am so freaking determined to get this, and it's on my wall. And honestly, I'm not even halfway. And it's like, well, pretty much halfway. I'm just under halfway. And I'm still going. I'm going to Vietnam. We are freaking going. So, and a lot of that is also promotion. So you know that I'm going to be helping you guys do really well with it. Okay, send your goals in the group chat, okay? Send them in the group chat, write them out. And yeah, I'll repost that, like what's on for the week or the monthly calendar, weekly calendar. So you know what's on most nights. Is something that is going to help you every single day. Any more questions? Oh my God, who's excited? Who's excited? Who's excited? Arms up, move the body, honestly. So it's honestly energy. It comes with it. Start your day with a bit of a dance. Your kids love it. All right. We will see everyone if you're on the 9:30 training. Otherwise, I'll see you in the group chats. Thanks, guys.